Gunners fan, welcome back to the channel. Arsenal have arrived at the Emirates Stadium ahead of their crucial UEFA Champions League encounter with Atletico Madrid tonight. The Gunners looked focused and ready as they stepped off the team bus in North London, greeted by a wave of cheers from the home supporters gathered outside the stadium. The atmosphere was calm, but full of determination, with Mikel Arteta's men knowing that victory tonight could strengthen their position in the group stage. After a hard-fought 1-0 win over Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday, Arsenal wasted no time returning to work. The players were back at the SAKA Realty Training Centre on Monday, where they held an intense and focused training session under Arteta and his coaching staff. The manager emphasised tactical sharpness, quick transitions, and high pressing, areas that will be key against a disciplined and defensive Atletico Madrid side. The big news from yesterday's training was that HINCAPIE took part fully with the rest of the squad. The Ecuadorian defender has been sidelined for several games with a groin problem, but completed the entire session without any issues, which is a major boost for Arteta's defensive options. His return adds valuable depth and balance to the backline ahead of a challenging European night at home. The squad also included several young players who impressed during training and could provide additional energy from the bench if needed. The overall mood in the camp was positive and focused, with players showing great intensity and togetherness throughout the session. Arteta and his assistants were seen giving final tactical instructions before wrapping up preparations, ensuring everyone was mentally and physically ready for the challenge. As the team arrived at the Emirates earlier today, the sense of unity and concentration was clear. The players looked sharp, wearing focused expressions as they made their way into the dressing room. The coaching staff followed closely behind, ready to fine-tune the final details before kickoff. With the home crowd behind them, Arsenal will be aiming to deliver a strong performance, maintain their unbeaten run at home, and take a major step forward in their Champions League journey. Additionally, as they welcome Atletico Madrid to the Emirates Stadium, the Gunners head into the game full of confidence after their narrow 1-0 win over Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday, a result that lifted them back to the top of the Premier League table. It was a professional performance from Mikel Arteta's side, and the good news for supporters is that there were no new injury concerns picked up in West London. However, Arsenal still have several key players sidelined as Arteta continues to manage a growing injury list. Some of the absentees include senior first-team stars who have been crucial to the team's success in recent seasons. Ahead of the big European clash, here's the latest update from the Gunners camp. Martin Odegaard. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard remains on the sidelines after suffering a medial collateral ligament injury during the win over West Ham before the international break. It's been a frustrating campaign for the Norwegian playmaker, who had already missed games earlier this season with a shoulder problem. Arteta confirmed that the midfielder will be out for weeks as he continues his recovery. Odegaard withdrew from Norway's national team duties to focus fully on his rehabilitation and has been working closely with the club's medical staff at London Colney. While no official return date has been provided, early indications suggest that he may not feature until after the November international break. If all goes well, he could make his return in the North London derby against Tottenham on November 23rd. Defender HINCAPIE has also faced a challenging start to life at Arsenal. Since his move from Bayer Leverkusen on deadline day, the Ecuadorian has managed just one appearance due to a persistent groin injury that has kept him out of the last 5 matches. There was positive news from Arteta ahead of the Fulham game, as he revealed that HINCAPIE had resumed full team training and was getting closer to match fitness. Although he wasn't part of the Matchday squad at Craven Cottage, his recovery is progressing well, and he could be in contention for a place against Atletico Madrid. Arteta has been cautious with his return, but the defender's growing fitness is an encouraging sign for the Arsenal backline. Winger Noni Madueke, meanwhile, is another player currently unavailable for selection. The summer arrival from Chelsea suffered a knee injury in the match against Manchester City and has been ruled out for several weeks. Arteta confirmed that the young winger is still being assessed, with a further scan expected soon to determine the next steps in his recovery. Madueke's progress will be closely monitored over the coming weeks, and his return is not expected until sometime in November. His absence has limited Arsenal's attacking options, but the coaching staff remain optimistic about his long-term impact once he's fully fit. Meanwhile, German midfielder Kai Havertz has been sidelined since the opening day victory over Manchester United after undergoing surgery on his knee. Arteta has been careful not to set a specific timeline for his return, though it is hoped that he could rejoin full training before the next international break in November, if his recovery continues to progress smoothly. Havertz has been working tirelessly with Arsenal's medical and fitness team and is said to be making steady progress. Arteta praised his determination, saying that the player is pushing hard to return, but the club wants to ensure his comeback is managed properly to avoid any setbacks. Another one is Gabriel Jesus. Striker Gabriel Jesus remains a long-term absentee after suffering an ACL injury during Arsenal's FA Cup loss to Manchester United in January. The Brazilian has missed the entire season so far, but the signs are encouraging. Arteta shared that Jesus is doing super well in his recovery and that his progress has been impressive in recent weeks. Despite the positive updates, Arsenal will continue to take a cautious approach with his rehabilitation. The expectation is that he could return in the final months of 2025, as the club focuses on ensuring a full and stable recovery before he's reintroduced to competitive action. As Arsenal prepare to face Atletico Madrid at the Emirates Stadium, Arteta will be pleased to have a largely fit group available for selection, with the squad showing strong unity and sharpness in recent training sessions. The return of key players in the coming weeks will only strengthen their ambitions in both the Premier League and Champions League campaigns. On the other hand, there was no time to rest for Arsenal after their hard-fought 1-0 victory over Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday. Just 2 days later, the Gunners were back on the training pitch at the SAKA Realty Training Centre on Monday, preparing for their next big challenge, a Champions League showdown with Atletico Madrid. The mood in camp was positive and full of energy as both young players and fit senior members of the squad trained together under the watchful eye of manager Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff. Despite the short turnaround between games, the session was intense and focused, reflecting the team's determination to keep their strong momentum going in Europe. The morning began with a warm-up routine aimed at recovery and mobility after the weekend match. The players then moved into short passing drills and quick combinations designed to sharpen their reactions and improve movement in tight spaces, something that will be crucial against a side as organized and aggressive as Atletico Madrid. Later in the session, Arteta and his team oversaw tactical work focused on pressing and defensive shape. The coaching staff were seen giving clear instructions from the sidelines, ensuring every player understood their role both with and without the ball. The group also practiced transitions from defense to attack, a key part of Arsenal's game plan heading into tomorrow's clash. The younger players continued to impress, showing high energy and confidence throughout the training session. Their involvement adds freshness and competition to the squad as the Gunners enter a busy part of the season. Meanwhile, the senior professionals provided leadership and experience, helping to guide the group and maintain high standards. Finishing drills were a major part of the day's work, with attackers working on precision and quick decision-making in front of goal. The goalkeepers were equally sharp, making several impressive saves during the final stages of the session. Arteta looked pleased with the group's effort and focus, praising the attitude shown by his players just 48 hours after their Premier League win. The coaching team emphasized the importance of recovery, teamwork, and staying disciplined as the side prepares for a tough test against a well-drilled Atletico Madrid outfit. With the full squad showing strong commitment and unity in training, Arsenal head into tomorrow's Champions League fixture full of belief and motivation. The Gunners know it will take another complete performance to secure a positive result, but the signs from Monday's session suggest they are ready to meet that challenge head-on. The session ended with a short intra-squad game that allowed the players to put everything they had practiced into real match situations. The tempo was high, and the intensity never dropped, showing just how focused everyone is ahead of tomorrow's encounter. The coaching staff were seen clapping and encouraging the team throughout, demanding precision and quick reactions as the players looked sharp and confident in possession. After training, the group gathered briefly with Arteta for a final talk on discipline, concentration, and the importance of staying calm under pressure. The manager's message was clear: every detail matters in the Champions League, especially against a side known for their defensive strength and counter-attacking danger. He reminded his players to keep the same hunger and togetherness that has brought them recent success. With preparations now complete, Arsenal will host Atletico Madrid at the Emirates Stadium, where the home crowd will play a vital role in lifting the team. The players are confident and well prepared after a strong training session, and there's a clear sense of determination within the group. In other news, the focus now turns to producing another commanding performance under the lights in North London, as the Gunners aim to make a big statement in Europe and continue their unbeaten run at home.